And we're live.
Hey guys!
Hello,
If you'd like to guess about what we've been talking about, just shoot us some answers.
Or don't. It's fine. You don't have to. Welcome to another episode of Tipsy and Witchy. Jesus.
We have Tim with us tonight.
Mr. Tim Maile.
Hey, look at me. I'm trying to figure out how to share this. So watch me as I fumble through this. So I can get to the dozen or so people that still follow me.
Oh, I'm sure there's
come on.
That's funny.
We're getting there.
Well, Tim is with us. He comes back every year to tell us his story and how he got involved in raising money for shelters and the paranormal and all of the above, really, huh?
Yeah, you guys always keep having me back, and so it must be okay for you guys. But
we love you.
I love you guys too. No, I've been excited to come back on the show. It's good to see you guys, and yeah, it's always a fun time.
Well, fantastic. It's either that or you just deny the fact that we're fucking crazy. But
well, that's part of it.
That's a given.
I think that's half the reason we get along so well. And I don't know if people have met me, but yeah, I'm not exactly sane myself. So
that's a good thing.
I was gonna say if you're sane, I don't think you qualify to be on our show, so it's fine.
No.
Well, the first time you guys had me on the show, there was no video,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't know you guys very well, and I just remember thinking, I think they're drunk, and it turns out you weren't.
True story.
Yeah, it's just the way we are.
Yeah, but I keep coming back, so it can't be too horrible.
Well, we love having you because you're just as hilarious as we can be.
Well, I try. If you see me in normal life, I'm pretty quiet and reserved and a gentleman. But
he does have a hard time finding.
When you're sleeping or what? No.
What? I didn't hear you, Donna.
I said, is that when you're sleeping?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I've been told that I act like a 12-year-old, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Conrad acts like he's 4.
A 4-year-old with an attitude.
And no pants.
A big attitude and no pants.
Well, that's the whole reason I'm like a 4-year-old, because I don't want to wear my pants.
Lord have mercy. So, Tim, for the viewers that may or may not know you, why don't you just dive in and tell us how you got started?
Well, my mom's in here right now, so she knows me.
Hi,
Mom. So I guess I got to go back to like the beginning, don't I?
Sure.
Well, 17 years ago today, actually, I brought Murray home, and I got to back up a little bit. I bought this house that I still live in, and started having things happening in the home that I just couldn't explain and didn't understand, and just going through a lot of things personally at the time, and not in a real good headspace, I guess. And back in 2006, guys really didn't talk about that kind of stuff, and
right.
And I guess they really don't yet. I mean, it's pretty. It's rare to see a man talk about his mental health. At least I feel it is. I mean, we're getting better, but back then you just didn't talk to anybody. And if you know me personally, which most of you do, I have no problem getting up in front of a group of people or doing a show like this and talking about the things that went on in my life. But if you want to sit down and talk to me one-on-one about this stuff, I get very quiet. I'm still not at the point where I'm comfortable doing that. You would think after 17 years I would be, but it's just a little strange for me. But anyway, I moved into this house, and I knew that when I bought this home, I wanted to get a dog. That was one of my goals. I'd grown up with dogs as a child, and then once I became an adult and moved out, I lived in apartments and duplexes and couldn't have an animal, and I was just really missing that. So I did some searching online, and I found a yellow lab pit bull mix, actually named Striker at the time, which is kind of ironic. But the story of him was that he was beaten badly in the home that he was in. He was 6 months old, and the rescue had gone in, and they had saved him from the home. The people that had him had tried to tear his tail off. That's how bad the abuse was. Murray's entire life, he couldn't wag his tail. If he moved it at all, it was an accomplishment, and he was so proud of himself. But I saw everything online, and I contacted the shelter. And at first, they didn't want to let me come and see him because a man had done this to him, and they kept telling me that he doesn't like men. This isn't a good match. This isn't a good idea. And I remember telling them I'm not any normal man, and we both laughed. Eventually, I think they gave in just because they're like, okay, let the guy come and see this dog, and then he'll be out of our hair. So I went and visited the dog, who would become Murray, and they sat me in this room, and they opened up a door, and there was a long hall of kennels, and they let him out, and he went the wrong way because that's what Murray did. He always did it wrong the first time. But they turned him around, and this little puppy that wasn't supposed to want anything to do with me came running to me and jumped into my arms. Oh. And it was one of them love at first sight things. And it was pretty magical. They made me wait, I guess, for a background check and all that stuff. And 2 weeks later, I got to go and bring him home. And that happens to be today. 17 years ago, I brought Murray home and brought him into the home. And he was seeing the things that I was hearing. He instantly started following everything that I was hearing. And for the first time in a few weeks, I felt sane because I thought I was losing my mind. Everything that I was going through personally, and then all of the paranormal stuff on top of it that I was experiencing in the house. Footsteps upstairs, bangs on the wall, voices in my closet. I was 31 years old, and I really had never in my life dealt with anything like that. Murray and I got along fantastic. I like to throw in some funny stories once in a while because otherwise I just cry the whole time. The first time I worked the night shift, I got home and Murray was so mad at me that I was petting him and he was straddling him and he pissed right on me. and I just remember looking at him like, what the hell was that? And of course he was like, oh crap, what did I do? But that was the kind of relationship we had. It was like we were equals, and he was pissed at me, so he pissed on me.
That's a good dog.
Yeah, but so eventually, my depression, my anxiety, got the best of me, and I sat in my bathroom with the largest knife I had in the house, and I went through each family member and each friend, and I came up with a reason why it would be okay if I wasn't here. I dare say it would be better that I wasn't here. And as I was about to do the unthinkable, I felt something on my arm, and I looked down, and it was Murray, and he rested his chin on my arm. And I just remember seeing those beautiful brown eyes and crumpling to the floor, and he snapped me out of it. I was in a place in my mind where nothing was going to get me out of that place. There was not a rational thought inside my brain at that moment. And if he had not been there, I would not be here today. I firmly believe that. And from that moment on, we weren't dog and owner. We were father and son. And I would have done anything for that kid. And I'd like to think I did.
You did.
Eventually, I got to do a lot of things in the paranormal field. Got to speak at conferences and, became a level D celebrity within the paranormal. And, you get to go to these conferences and they give you a table and they tell you to sell what you want. And I didn't have anything. So I remember talking to my ex-wife, which would be the only credit I ever give her. But I remember talking to my ex-wife and saying, I want to do something with that table. And I want to do something for the dogs. And create a legacy for Murray. So we came up with an idea to do pictures of Murray and I, called it Pawtographs for Pooches. The name was actually from Scott Tepperman. I got to give him credit for that. But Pawtographs for Pooches was born in 2013 with no real aspirations, no goals, no anything. And it started off very, very slow. We raised $10 at our first event. And then eventually we would raise $100, $200. You guys are very familiar with the Little Traverse Bay Parafest that John and Jackie Cassidy ran.
Love them.
And they were the first event that really got behind it. And, advertised that we were raising money for the animals and made a big deal out of Pawtographs for Pooches, made a big deal out of Murray. And it was incredible for me. And we raised a couple $100. And then John decided, hey, let's do an exclusive event. And I thought John was crazy because who's going to come and see me talk? But we sold the place out.
Thanks, Ben.
And we raised $741 that first exclusive event. And we just kept building and building and building. And here we are 10 plus years later, and we've raised just over $118,000. So, yeah, it's been the most rewarding thing I've done in my life. Unfortunately, Murray passed away in 2019, 4 years ago already, which seems insane. Passed away 4 years ago, and Pawtographs really didn't take off until he was gone. I mean, we were doing okay. But I think my biggest regret is that, he didn't get to see it, really take off and us doing our thing. And the last event that I brought him to, he got a standing ovation. We brought him up on the stage and everybody stood, they clapped for him. And I got pictures of that. And that's a fantastic memory. When he passed away in 2019, the paranormal world really paid tribute to him. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And at the time, I was trying to take that in and trying to see how beautiful and special that was. But I was also grieving a lot because I didn't know what would happen to me because I had lived my life so much for him. And I remember taking him into the vet and whispering in his ear, and I said, "You got to let me know that Grandpa has you." My dad passed away when I was very young. And I told him, "You got to let Grandpa know that he has to let me know you're okay. Otherwise, I'm coming to get you." And that sounds just like it sounds. And that next morning, I woke up to 5 messages from 5 separate mediums. And every message started with the same sentence. It's very important that Murray tells you he's okay. And he kept up his end of the bargain. So I'm here. And we're trying to continue doing our thing and finding different ways to do Pawtographs events and raising money for the shelters that we can, and just it's pretty special. But I don't let myself really think about it all that much because at the end of the day, it's Murray's story, and I'm just the human that gets to tell it. And without him, there's no story. So anything that's happened to me since 2007 is all because of him. All the people I've met in the paranormal field, it's because of him. The special people I've met here in the last few months, it's because of him. So just forever grateful that he walked into that room that night, and we'll keep telling his story as long as people will keep listening.
And there's plenty that will listen because you've done an outstanding job.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that Murray is still with you.
He better be, because I kind of need him. I'm a little codependent.
So when did you start a paranormal team?
The paranormal team started in 2008. January 2008, Fox City's paranormal team. So we've been going strong here for 15 and a half years. And a lot of the reason we do what we do is because of the activity I had in my home, and I couldn't get anybody to come in and explain it to me. So most of what we do, if not all of what we do, is residential cases. And there was a residential case that we did from 2010 to 2012 that ended up on Paranormal Witness, which really opened up the door for me to start speaking at conferences. So I'm also forever grateful for that opportunity. That, you know, without that, nobody in this field would know who I am. So a lot of things fell into place for me, and we were able to do some really fantastic things. Todd Arnold has been with me for almost 16 years doing this, and you guys know Todd, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's been a wonderful journey, and I always joke around. It's like I've crawled around in the dark with my best friend for 16 years. You know, how can you get better than that? But no, he's a wonderful human being, and he's really kept my head on straight with all of this stuff. And I remember when we first started getting opportunities, I looked at him and I said, if I ever change, like, punch me in the face, because I don't want to be that person that, you know, gets full of themselves and treats other people like they don't matter. I've seen it, and it's not a good look for people. So he hasn't punched me yet, so I think I'm doing okay. But
I was thinking punching you.
yeah, thing is, we've talked about it, and, you know, I'm like, you can get the first shot, but I'm still punching back. So
I'd be running.
But no, Todd's a great human being, great friend. And the night that Murray passed, Todd came over, Jimmy and Michelle came over. I think I saw Michelle. Yeah, Michelle's in the room. I haven't talked to Michelle in forever. Yeah. But Jimmy and Michelle, Todd, my mom and Dave, they all came over that night, and yeah, it was a tough night. The night that Murray passed, and yeah. And then I went to Old Mill Parafest, I think, like 3 weeks later, and just to be a visitor, because I needed to be around people, and that was my first time back at a paranormal event. But yeah, so segue, going there this weekend. That's why I brought it up, and really excited to get back to the Old Mill and see Tim Maile and his team, and all the fantastic people they got as a part of that event.
Looks like it's going to be a good lineup there too, and it's going to be their 10-year one.
It is. There's one thing that scares me, if I'm being honest. I've never spoken that late in the day, so I don't know if they release the schedule publicly, but I'm the second last speaker. So whenever I am done, I'm just going to hand the mic to John Zaffis and tell him to follow that.
Perfect.
But in all seriousness, I was really excited when Tim and the gang invited me to come back this year. It's one of my favorite events. It's a beautiful building. I love the little town it's in, and it's just a nice little getaway to end the season.
It is. It is. They're good people. Good cause.
I know. I always consider the Old Mill to be the end of spooky season, and then after that, then it's allowable to talk about Christmas, but not until the Old Mill's over.
I resisted the urge to put up my Christmas tree this weekend. Yeah, I was close, but at the end of the day, my couch won, and I just sat on that.
I'm not even sure I have room for a Christmas tree this year.
You have room. Just don't let the dogs carry you to the door this time.
That was funny. I had 2 huskies meet me at the back door with the Christmas tree one year. They drug it from here to the back door. Like, oh look, it's a big stick.
Yeah, thankfully mine haven't done that. The worst they've done is chew on the glass bulbs, and they do it just enough till they break, and then they leave them on the floor for me. I'm like, thanks a lot.
Don't buy no more glass balls.
Yeah, I don't. Now I cover my Christmas tree in skeletons, so it's fine. It's fine. Now, there's been, from word around town, it seems that Pawtographs is going through its own evolution now.
It is. I'm going to cover this on Saturday, but I guess I can break the news here. If I'm being honest, in July, I started telling people that I was going to walk away.
Yeah.
And it had just gotten to the point where it was so much stress putting together events, from dealing with the venue to the stress of selling tickets, to the stress of dealing with some of the celebrities, I'm sorry to say. I'm just being honest. It just got to be too much, and it wasn't fun anymore leading up to an event. And all it was is worrying about, are we going to break even? And I know what people will say. You always break even. You always end up making money at these events. It's not exactly true. We've canceled about 8 or 9 of these events because we didn't sell enough tickets. So there is the fear of failure there, and losing money on an event that you don't actually run. So I had come to the point where I was pretty content with walking away and just being done and kind of getting life back and not having to always be on, I guess. I had even talked to the people at Michigan Paracon. We were going to set something up there, and I was going to get to say my proper goodbye, because I never wanted to leave on bad terms. I hate it when people leave the field or they leave events and they do this scathing post and they rip apart the field that they were supposed to love and the field that gave them all their notoriety. I didn't want to be that guy. That was really important to me. So I wanted to be able to say goodbye to my friends. A funny thing happened. I met somebody pretty wonderful, and after a few months, she convinced me that maybe if she just helped, that I would be able to take some of that stress away. And we had a really good heart-to-heart about, do I really want to give this up? And do I want to walk away from it? And I didn't. I just felt like for my health, I had to. So yeah, I'm going to push forward, and I don't know what it looks like going forward, but I'm excited. For those that know me personally, it's a real big deal for me to give up any control on anything. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Pawtographs does here in the future. And I don't know what the events will look like. I'm still not sold on doing a giant event every year, because that's the one that nearly kills me every year. So maybe a bunch of smaller events, and just
smaller is more personable.
Yeah, but yeah, so it is what it is, and I was all set to be done, but sometimes life, or if you want to believe it, Murray says no, we can't do that. And somebody gets placed in your life and things change, and yeah, so I mean, my whole outlook on everything, I think I'm just a happier person now.
Things happen for a reason, Tim.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm just I've been accused of being crabby, and a crabby old man, a grumpy old man, and I'm trying to change that going forward. So yeah, so long story short, Pawtographs is going to stick around.
Yay.
So there's no big goodbye next August, but I'll be there anyway, and we'll have a good time, and everybody will enjoy it. And yay!
Absolutely, we're happy to hear it.
Will you still need help finding the bathroom?
That seems to be a running thing. That's a big place. It's a big place, and for those not in the know, if you're listening to this and you're like, what the hell is Chelsea talking about? 2 years ago at Michigan Paracon, I was, I would say, slightly drunk, and you and Donna were playing slot machines, and I remember walking up, and like, we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other, and I just came up, and I needed help finding the bathroom. And that's where the conversation started, and then all of a sudden this wonderful friendship was formed, all because I couldn't find the toilet. But
funny enough, the bathroom was like dead ahead from the slot machine we were on. He was so close.
Turns out I wasn't very far away from it, but no. Yeah, that ended up being.
He was drunk, and he just kept rattling and rattling. I was waiting for him to pee his pants.
They're like, Tim, don't you have to go use the bathroom?
Oh yeah.
It was a good weekend. I mean, that event's always fun, but yeah. So that's how the friendship started, and then here we are. I think I was on your show before that.
Yes.
But we didn't. I think it's pretty safe to say we didn't know each other very well at that time.
Mm.
It was just like two random ladies having me on their radio show, and I was like, "Oh, we'll do this," and here we are today.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the second time you came onto the show was when we finally got a better program to use.
When we were online.
Yeah, when you could see our beautiful
Yes.
faces. And then all hell broke loose, and you realized we were knucking butts.
Not us.
No.
So tell us, in your paranormal encounters, what was the scariest one you've ever done?
Well, this is going to sound like I'm trying to be macho, but I'm not. I don't think there's ever been a time when I've been scared. And I can explain why. Because most, if not all, of what we do is residential cases.
Right.
And I've always been in the mindset that if I'm afraid of what's happening, then I'm no good for the family. So I don't allow myself to show any fear. I mean, there's been times when I've been startled. There's been times I've been caught off guard. But I don't think there's ever been a time when I've been afraid.
That's a thing.
I've been punched by things I can't see, and that's an adrenaline rush that you really cannot explain to somebody unless it happens to them. Getting hit by something that doesn't technically exist, and you can't hit it back because your first instinct is to swing back, but there's nothing there. But
right.
I've been pushed. I've been pushed into walls. Part of being a leader of the team is sometimes whatever's in the home, if it's not happy with you, it goes after the leader. And I'm okay with that. I would rather they came after me than the rest of my team.
Anybody else,
yeah. So I've never really shied away from that. There's been a lot of times where people on the team have had to make me get out of a situation because I don't want to leave it. But then I'm the first person to try to get somebody else out of the situation because I don't want anything bad to happen to them.
Right.
So it's a do as I say, not as I do type thing. Because I tend to break a lot of my own rules.
Not you.
Yeah, we've got this 4-shot now, and I can see my face clearly, and I don't like it. So can we get Chelsea back in there?
I don't know where she went. Dog's probably doing something bad.
Yeah.
Whenever we do any kind of investigation, I'm scratched from head to toe.
Always.
Always.
I don't think there's never been a time you haven't been.
And it doesn't scare me. I think they're just letting me know they're there. Some of them piss me off, though. About you, Conrad?
I don't think I get scared at all. But I've always been taught not to let it get to you because they feed off that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like giving people ammo in the living world to come at me with. Why would I give dead people ammo to come at me with?
Good choice.
I feel like we lost our leader.
I wonder where she went.
I'm really curious. I guarantee the puppies are doing something naughty.
Oh, well, we probably would have heard her screaming at him.
What if we can internet connection?
Could be. She'll live in the woods. No.
There she is.
There she is.
So what are you coming up here Friday night or wait until Saturday to come in or what are you doing?
Oh, I'll be there Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, I think we're taking off at like about 9 a.m, so we should be there 4, 5, 6, depending on how many bathroom breaks we have. and stuff. But, I'm going to stop by real quick and hang out with Tim Woolworth for a little bit. So I might be at the mill for a little late, but got to go see him, see how he's doing. So,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Good.
I can't be that close and then not go see him. That'd be pretty crappy of me.
That would be crappy of you.
Yeah.
Michelle said that she invited a spirit to sit next to her and couldn't breathe.
I was there that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's telling the truth. Yeah, she was having trouble getting a breath, and yeah, it was pretty intense for a little bit there. Hey, Chelsea's back.
So listen, I have this set up so that if I have to run out of the room, I can still hear the podcast downstairs on my speaker. So I'm letting the dogs in and making sure they're not, killing anything. And I just hear, I think we lost our leader. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I just had to leave for a minute.
Okay, we're telling him dirty little secrets about you.
No, I would have known because I was hearing everything. It was funny that you guys were talking about like fearful or startling moments. One of Conrad's favorites that was recent was at the Stimson Hospital last year when he messed with Adia. That's one of my favorite ones to talk about because he was such a smart ass. So we typically have a rule when we're investigating that we don't do the
we don't provoke.
Yes, we don't do provoking, treat people as you want to be treated, dead or alive, okay? And he decided to test the waters with this doll, and he discovered that being a smartass got him bruised and scratched up.
Did you learn your lesson?
No.
No.
No. I mean, he's still with us, so I would say that the lesson is still being learned. Although, when we were at Stimson a few weeks ago, you behaved yourself in front of Adia, I should say.
Well, there was guests.
That was the reason, huh?
The public was there.
Oh, okay. If that's the
and we also didn't stay in that room very long. When
we were
did,
there for a while afterward.
Because we moved really quickly through the house after we were done.
Well, Jim's mom says that it sounds like Chelsea has a pup like Ebony.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she means by that. I'm trying to figure that out. She's Ebony's a little bit crazy sometimes, but whenever I get over there, she tends to be okay. But yeah, she's my mom recently lost one of her dogs, Cheyenne, and I don't think I've seen Ebony since then. But I guess she's kind of mellowed out a little bit. So
Good.
probably see a different dog when I go over there on Friday.
Maybe.
So Kirsten says,
Wouldn't let Kirsten leave a rice ball.
okay, listen, Kirsten makes the best rice balls out of anybody I've ever known. Okay. And she wanted to leave Adia a rice ball as an offering. I said, hell no, she's not going to eat it. I'm not letting that go to waste. Bullshit, you're leaving a rice ball. Leave her a ponytail. Damn.
Okay, am I the only one that doesn't know what a rice ball is?
Rice balls are amazingly delicious. So the way she makes them is she cooks salmon and she puts them in the middle and then packs rice around it with like seasonings and sauces and yumminess. And then you can put like a little piece of seaweed around it and you eat it. And it's delicious. It's amazing. So good.
They are good.
So good.
So I'm very happy that you all like that, but that sounds horrible.
I agree, Tim.
It's not for everybody. It's okay.
It's like, yeah, I'm not the kind of person that if I don't like something that you can't like it. So I'm very happy that you guys like it. But that sounds awful to me.
The more people that don't want to eat them, that means I get more rice balls. So I'm totally for it.
All right.
You can have
And if
all
I'm
my
there, I
balls.
get to enjoy them with her.
What does she put in the middle?
Salmon.
Oh, you can have that. You can have my share too.
Although we
Oh,
do
they're
eat,
so
we
good.
do eat sushi as well, and
Yeah.
sashimi, and all the deliciousness. Mm. Anyway, we're talking about ghosts, not Japanese cuisine. We digress. It's all right.
Well, how was everybody's Halloween?
Snowed.
Are we
Yeah.
really?
It did snow here. Yeah. I fun fact about me, being a paranormal investigator, I cannot stand Halloween.
What?
I cannot. I
Oh,
I have lived in this house for 17 years and I have not handed out one piece of candy because if you cannot buy your kids candy, then that's not my problem.
Oh my God, you're being a Scrooge.
No, I'm not a real big fan of children, so why would I want to invite them over and hand them candy?
Hand them out dog treats.
No.
We never have any kids.
We don't either.
No.
Yeah, the ones in my neighborhood have given up.
I don't get children here except unless they're dead and they're passing through. That's about it.
Kirsten, I'm glad you cook your food. Raw sounds gross.
You have to get like a certain grade of meat if you're going to eat it raw, and you have to prepare it a certain way, and it's a pain in the ass, especially if you're not a professional. So we leave that to the professionals and we cook our food. Okay. Like,
Just don't eat it. Make it easy.
Yep, I agree. Just
Are
don't.
we really having this conversation right now?
We are.
It's so good though.
So good.
The closest I
All
get to raw is medium rare steak. That's as close as I get to raw. Oh.
Oh my God.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's happening right now. We
So
started
back
talking
to Tim.
Conrad,
I had to go and ask for the rice
in your
bowl.
brain.
Okay.
Lock
So
that brain up like a safe, buddy boy.
wait, what are we
What
talking
did I
about?
miss?
I don't know.
I don't know. Things just got weird.
Things are
My
always
dad got weird.
Kirsten says, I love how I was able to sidetrack the whole conversation. Yes, you certainly did. We went from talking about worthy causes with animals to paranormal to food.
It wouldn't be tipsy and
Right.
witchy.
Get a bunch of weirdos together, and there's no telling what will be talked about.
That's very true. But speaking of food, I love it when I'm doing an investigation and I smell really good food. My favorite thing that's ever happened like that was I was coming home from work, and I've told this story before, but it's one of my favorites. I was coming home from work when I still lived with my parents, and I walked into the kitchen and it smells like freshly baked apple pie, and instantly my mouth starts watering. I'm like, oh, Mom baked a pie. I'm so excited. So I turn the lights on and I'm like, where's the pie? I don't see the pie. I can smell it, but I don't see it. So I go in the living room. I'm like, Mom, did you baked a pie, didn't you? And she's like, no, I didn't bake anything today. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? It smells like apple pie. And she's like, I didn't make anything. I'm like, okay, you need to come in the kitchen right now. So her and Dad come into the kitchen and they're like, oh my God, it smells like apple pie. I'm like, I know. The only thing I have to complain about it is if they're going to make it smell like really good apple pie, why can't they leave me an apple pie?
Right?
Well, I think the story behind the apple pie was we found out the original owners to this farmhouse, she would bake apple pies and put them in the windowsill, and the Indians would come up from the lake behind us and steal them off the windowsill.
I mean, can you blame them? They're apple pies. So Candace says, hugging both of my dogs now. One was given to me, the other a rescue. I love what Pawtographs does for rescues. Thank you, Tim, and thank you, Murray.
Thank you for the kind words, Candace. we did an event in Houghton Lake, and I'm pretty sure Candace was the reason I had to wear those pug leggings.
Probably.
Because we came up short, and then she like threw enough money in that we hit the number, and I had to wear pug leggings. There's way too many pictures of that.
Should we share some on the Tipsy and Witchy podcast site?
Absolutely.
I don't think we should.
Check out the comments below after the show.
There were some. Let's just say there was one particular pug on those leggings that was very well placed. And
we have to find these pictures.
I bent over, and there were people snapping pictures of me. And all I kept thinking was, "You bunch of dirty old ladies." But yeah, I had to wear those leggings with the pugs on them, and I think I had to do the one year I had to go into the lake because it was in August, and the next year I had to do like snow angels, and I think the snow angels was in the pugs because that was right after COVID, or when they finally said we could do things together again. Yeah. So it was me and Todd and Dylan all doing snow angels, and I had my pug leggings.
Put it to a vote. Everyone that wants to see these pictures, just say yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You
And
know,
share.
that's one way you could raise money for Pawtographs. You could pose in your pug leggings.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think Pawtographs has passed that.
I don't think so. I'm getting lots of yeses. Lots and lots of yeses.
Sorry, Tim, you're outnumbered.
Oh, I had to go and open my mouth.
You did.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll bring some leggings to the old mill for Saturday.
Oh,
And if a bunch of you, step up to the plate and donate for Tim's cause, we'll make him put them on.
Oh, I don't like that idea either.
We should set a number. If Tim can raise $1,000, he'll put on the leggings.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that because I don't.
Yes, let's do it.
But they have to be leggings of our choice.
No. No.
Why?
Because Tim's smart and he knows how to trust you.
All right, we'll make them leggings of Chelsea's choice.
Again, no.
I just want to see the pug leggings. I don't know. But yeah.
I still have them.
Oh, you should bring them then. Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I think it's a great. If we could
I'm
raise $1,000 or more, come on, that's a great.
I am bringing my new girlfriend to this event, and I do not want to chase her away. So
I don't think you'd chase her away. I think she'd enjoy it.
You don't know.
Hey, she might even stay longer.
No, I don't like my chances there. So I don't think we're at the stage yet where I can make a complete fool of myself. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can, but
you can.
But yeah. So I'll tell you what, I will ask her, and then if she gives the okay, yeah, because I kind of sort of like her a lot.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I don't want to chase this one away. So yeah.
If she likes you a lot, that won't chase her away.
Oh well, you have seen me in tights. That's the problem.
Candace says, "Pat it with a potato. She'll stay."
Yep. I stand by my comment earlier about dirty old ladies. I stand by my comment. Why would it be a potato? Okay. So we can say these things on your show, right? Who has a potato-shaped penis? Is what I want to know.
Just a little toady.
I
That's
think
all.
it's more about the bulge, maybe?
Okay, so you guys want to talk about dogs? Let's talk about dogs.
This is great.
Remember, my mother is listening.
She's enjoying every minute of this. Get a Costco potato grown on 3 Mile Island.
Oh boy.
You volunteered to come back on the show, man.
I did. Maybe we could make it like if we raise 1,500, then Zaffis and I have to wear leggings.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah. I mean, John will never talk to me again, but
But it's a great cause.
Well, we're going to have to run that by him and make sure that he'll want to do that.
I'm not doing it. Tim, that's on you.
This has gone off the rails. I'll send him a text tonight. I'll be like, hey, I signed you up for something.
Absolutely. Send it to him.
Yeah. I signed you up for something tonight, buddy. Sorry.
Do you have 2 pairs of pug leggings?
I don't.
So your mom's on board.
Yes, she is.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to our world.
Again. So what are we looking forward to for the Old Mill on Saturday?
I just want to see people again. You know, it's been since August. Actually, that's not true. I had an event in September. It's been since September. It's the last one until March when we all get together in Ann Arbor. Just looking for a good weekend and enjoying myself, talking to friends. Hanging out with the aforementioned girlfriend and introducing her to all of my friends, which I am starting to think is a horrible idea. I don't know what I was thinking.
I think it's going to be wonderful.
Oh God, I am terrified now.
Tim, the whole time he's in the show, glimpsing his future at the show.
Yeah, I keep looking for a message from her going, hey, I can't make it this weekend. She was listening earlier, but I think we chased her away. But no, just getting together with everybody and getting away for the weekend and being able to, do what we love and just hanging out with good friends. Really looking forward to seeing John Michael again. Love that guy. Deb and RJ, I'm hoping I think they're going to be there.
They're going to be there. Yep.
And, just seeing all the folks and then taking a 3-month or 4-month break and then get right back at it.
Excellent.
2024 is filling up. So I went from, I don't know if I want to do this anymore to, hey, gimme. So.
And Candace says there better be baskets for raffle in March, Tim.
I have it on good authority that there will be.
12 months of Tim in pug leggings.
Where are you? What's that coming from?
They're gonna get a calendar in their basket.
No.
What a concept.
I know, right?
You guys are full of like really horrible ideas.
Yeah, but you could raise so much money that way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and I could lose all dignity.
Oh, what's dignity matter?
But it's for the animals. It's for the animals.
Yeah.
So, speaking of March, why don't you tell us about the amazing event that you have every year in Ann Arbor?
I better go look at this. I don't want to miss anybody in the lineup and then get yelled at.
Oh, everybody's loving the calendar ideal.
And they also said to include a potato.
That's good for them. I'm happy that they like the idea. So in March 8th and 9th, we're going back to Ann Arbor, Michigan for Pawtographs Parafest 5. And I've got on good authority that there will not be a blizzard this year. So We got dumped on last year, 16 inches of snow on Friday night. That sucked. But we still managed
Yeah, we couldn't even get out of the driveway.
Yeah. We still managed to raise $11,000, which is pretty incredible.
Excellent.
With all of that going on. But so this year we're bringing back a lineup that I'm pretty proud of. Headlined by Barry Fitzgerald from Ghost Hunters International. I've been a big fan of him, a friend of him for years, and wanted to get him to an event, and we finally made it work. Heather Taddy is coming to the event. Dustin Perry is going to be back. Todd's going to be there. I'm just reading them off right now. Brad and Tim from Michigan Paracon. Deb DeRoos, Christine Carpenter, Casey Colburn, Richard Estep, Dan Klass, Jamila, Dana, Chris and Kelly, Christy London. Tim Woolworth was supposed to be there, but he's going through a lot of health stuff right now, and he's pulling back from things because he has to, not because he wants to. But we replaced Tim Woolworth with somebody pretty special. So I don't know when we're going to be ready to tell you who that is, but it's a pretty big deal. So there's a cliffhanger for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea.
Oh God, no! People would want to go.
No.
No. They'd be like, "Who? Oh no, not that bitch."
She's psycho.
Tell me a little. It's fine.
And Michelle will be there.
Yeah, Michelle's going to be there. We still got 2 vendor tables left for that event, which amazes me. But we do. We have 2 vendor tables still remaining for that event. So if anybody listening right now is like, "Hey, I'd like to sit at a table all weekend and be ignored by everyone," come on out and get yourself a table. But no, it's gonna be a great event. We're doing another fundraiser for Humane Society of Huron Valley. That's who we're raising money for this weekend too. So double dipping for them this year. They're good people over there. We got to take a tour last year. Just was really impressed with their facilities and how well they treat all the animals there, and just really happy to partner with them. But then we've got I'm doing an event at the Palmer House in Minnesota next May. Doing a suicide prevention event at Ashmore with Robin in June. Doing an investigation event at Hinsdale House in July. Michigan Paracon in August. And I think that's it.
That sounds like a full load.
That's it so far.
Yeah, that's it so far. But yeah, so it's going to be a busy 2024, and hopefully I'll get through it with my sanity, and we'll keep pushing forward. But yeah,
now, if there's an organization that wants to reach out to you and have some kind of fair festival, how would they get a hold of you?
Don't.
Don't do
it.
No, I honestly, I have really good relationships with the 5 or 6 shelters that we help. A lot of times what happens is there'll be shelters in the area of an event we're doing, and they'll ask if we'll do an event for them. And like, I can't go back to Michigan and do 2 or 3 events a year. I mean, then I'm just going to lose friends, and we're not going to sell tickets. And then the people in Michigan that run events are going to be like, "Hey, asshole, go back to your own state." So, I mean, I was trying to be funny, but there's some truth to it. It's really difficult for me to just plan an event around a shelter at this point. I would love to be able to help everybody. But sometimes it's just not feasible. I mean, we tried last year in Iowa, and we sold 2 tickets to an event that was headlined by Dustin Perry, which tells everybody that Dustin is not a draw. So,
but I love Dustin. He's so.
I love you, Dustin.
No, he knows I'm kidding. But yeah, and there's been events in Illinois that we've had to cancel, events in Indiana, where we have tried to help shelters that have reached out to us, and it just does not end up working out because there's no, like, Michigan is different because people in Michigan know me. Like, I've developed friendships with so many people in Michigan, and there's people that follow me in Michigan. So Michigan is actually a very easy sell in comparison to even Wisconsin. I do events in Wisconsin, and it's like pulling teeth. So it gets very, very frustrating and stressful when we do an event in Wisconsin, because it just, the whole state's like, I don't know, I don't like paranormal. But other places I go, there's great crowds. So it's hit and miss. I really got to be careful with what I set up. I got to make sure there's people in the area that know me. Otherwise, it just doesn't work out. We tried to do an event in Tampa Bay a few years ago, and 5 people came to the event, and we went through with it because I was going to be in town anyway. So, but it's there's your answer. I love being able to help, but it's difficult to plan an event around a shelter specifically, because you have to find a venue and
Right. Okay.
probably not the answer you were expecting. You were probably expecting some heartfelt plea every shelter.
No, not at all, because I wondered, how do you do that?
No, I used to, but it became real difficult. And
Well, I can see where it would be hard.
Yeah, being able to navigate it, and too many shelters in the same area, and you can't do multiple events in the same area. Just, yeah. Anyway,
Makes sense to me.
yeah.
Well, on a lighter note, tell people how they can find you and buy tickets to the event in Ann Arbor.
Pawtographsforpooches.com. Go check it out. Hit the events tab, and it'll take you to a page with I think just the Ann Arbor event. So you hit the events tab, and there it is, and it's got the poster, and everybody's going to be happy with that event. I promise. No blizzards. But yeah, looking forward to Ann Arbor. Pretty well known that I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm going to try to get there a day early this year and actually go check out the stadium. But yeah, it's special for me to come back and do that event because it was successful last year, even in a blizzard. So I'm excited to see what we can do this year, with some decent weather.
Well, everybody's looking forward to that.
Thanks.
Everybody's looking forward to seeing you Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think we're going to be there Friday night. They've got some kind of gathering for like speakers and vendors and friends. So,
And there's a VIP dinner Saturday night.
Yeah, some sort of VIP party. I know the last time they had set up, there was like karaoke and there were like yard games and stuff, and people had a good time. I will not be singing. That will not happen.
Chelsea will.
And that'll be wonderful because the majority of the other people that are singing are going to be horrible. That's what karaoke is. Okay, karaoke is very cringeworthy most of the time.
Very much so.
It's even more cringeworthy when you get the people up there that think they're good, and it's very clear that they're not.
Yes.
And you have to sit and smile at them.
No, you don't.
Oh, you do.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. I'm sent to a corner most of the time.
Yeah, you are. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, yay, Chelsea's singing. And then other people are like, damn it, Chelsea's singing. I don't want to sing now. I'm like, I'm sorry. I try. I'm just there to have fun, I swear.
That's okay.
But it's
so
good.
Anybody out in the Dundee, Michigan area Saturday, come on out to the Old Mill. Get a ticket. Come talk to Tim.
I think it's one of the most affordable marathons.
It is
out there.
Even to have investigations there are cheap.
Yeah. What are the tickets like $50? I think they are. 40?
40.
Okay, $40 and you get to come hang out with John Zaffis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask for anything better than that.
And that's a big deal. I still get excited to see John, and I've been friends with him for a dozen or so years. So I just name dropped the hell out of him, didn't I?
I did.
Yeah. No, John is
that's because you want him in tights. I know it is.
Yeah. No, John's always been a really good friend of mine, and he accepted me like from the beginning, when I first met him. And no, it's just really fortunate that he took a liking to me. And because if John doesn't like you, you'll know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, John's a very good man, and very, very lucky to call him a friend.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, on that note, guys, I think we made it past our time limit.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's an idea. We could make you guys wear kilts.
That's a horrible idea. Like literally every idea you've had tonight is just really bad.
Well, everybody else.
Anybody coming out Saturday, bring your choice of leggings, because if he hits $1,500 in donations, he's going to model them for us. Sound like a plan, man.
And he'll never be on the show. But I mean, people do love kilts. I'm just saying.
Guys in kilts are sexy as fuck.
Your girlfriend might dig the kilt idea.
Yeah,
Throwing it out there.
I'm at a point now where I don't really want to look sexy for anybody. I'm good. I have found a good one. So yeah, I'm not out there like, displaying the goods for anybody.
Just the potatoes.
No.
Oh, Lord. On that note, guys, thank you for joining us tonight with Tim. Tim, thank you as always for being on the show. It's always a pleasure. If you guys are out in the Dundee area this Saturday, make sure you come to help support. They are raising money for the animal shelter. You can come hang out with us and Tim. It's going to be a great time, so just coming out. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Try to stay warm, and as always, stay spooky.
We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.